If these allegations are proven to be true, then Jacob Zuma is the most heartless person we've ever had in this world. He is the most heartless president or head of state we've ever had in South Africa. And he needs to be dealt with decisively. He must face the mighty hand of the law. As long as these allegations are proven to be true, then Jacob Zuma must be dealt with. Even if he's sick, he must spend the rest of his life in prison. If he's sick, he must be sick in prison and heal in prison, because he doesn't deserve to live in the outside world. The same energy you gave to the content creators, I think it is about time you give it to your loved politicians. Yes, I understand most of you love Jacob Zuma, but the same energy you gave and the same cancellation you did to those content creators and the social media influencers, it is about time that you apply the same energy to former President Jacob Zuma, if these allegations are proven to be true. Hello and welcome to Latest Daily News. My name is Letu. You are watching the Undiluted Analysis. Here we're going to talk about a lot of topics, but this is going to be the main topic of the day. So if you like whatever that we're doing here, I'm going to plead with you to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, so that you can boost the YouTube algorithm. By the way, let's read the article. We will explain it on the parts, because it's written in parts and subtopics. So the first article, the main topic, it says MK party members trapped in Russia-Ukraine war zone. Then the summary review, it says 17 South African men, reportedly members or affiliates of Umkhonto we Sizwe party members, MKP, the political party founded by the former South African President Jacob Zuma, are allegedly stranded on the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war in the Donbas region. According to multiple reports, they were lured to Russia under false pretense of receiving bodyguard training for the party, but were instead coerced into fighting as combatants for Russian forces. So these members of Umkhonto we Sizwe party, when they were leaving South Africa, they were told that they're going to train so that they can be members or some sort of a special bodyguard training that they're going to get in Russia so that they can come and protect the party. As you know, ANC have their own bodyguards and security and all those kind of things, even though it's private because they hired it from one of their own. EFF have DOR, and then DA have their own, now it's private. So even MKP told them that we want to establish our own thing, want to establish our own security. So you guys go and train to be bodyguards in Russia, will receive a special training, and when you come back, you're going to be qualified bodyguards that are very strong. And those comrades, they went there, and upon arrival there, they were then taken to be combatants of the Russian forces in the fighting zone between the Russia and the Ukraine. So this is the timeline of events that happened. I want to say something. On the 8th of July 2025, this year, the men flew from South Africa to Dubai on a route to Russia. They were reportedly delayed for 2 days due to documents issue before arriving in Russia. So automatically, these people, they were sent to go to Dubai, because obviously most of international or intercontinental routes, they pass through Dubai. I understand that most of people are going to Italy, America, most of them, they start by going to Dubai. Then from Dubai, that's when they can go there. Dubai, that's where a lot of things happen, because Dubai is tax-free. And that's where most of the planes, they can manage to refill the fuel and all those kind of things. So they were taken to Dubai on the 8th of July, and they stopped in Dubai. They were stuck there in Dubai for 2 days because of the documentation. Then my question is, why do you even leave to Dubai if the documentation is not even fully being managed, or you have fully cooperated with whatever standard it's needed for you to even fly from Dubai to Russia? Because if I'm flying to America now and I'm passing through Dubai, I need to ensure that my documents are ready to arrive in America so that I don't have a problem. I can't fly to Dubai knowing very well that my documents are incomplete. Or maybe someone told me that, no, don't worry, fly. We're going to complete a document along the way. There is nothing like that, you understand? But Bona, they flew to Russia. And from there, they were delayed for 2 days due to documentation. Then it says upon arrival in Russia, their passports and phones were confiscated, cutting off communication with families for about 10 days. They were quickly integrated into Russian combat unit rather than receiving the promised non-combat training. So when they were living in South Africa, they were told that they are going for a non-combat training. But upon arrival in Russia, that's where the table twisted. They were immediately taken to the combat zone, and their phones, they were taken away from them to cut communication from South Africa, to cut communication with their families. Then my question is, if Jacob Zuma can do such, what does it mean about him? What does it mean? I remember Floyd told us that they were receiving funding from Russia. So you can sacrifice your own people for the sake of funding. If these allegations are proven to be true, Jacob Zuma must be dealt with decisively, honestly. So you can sacrifice your own people for the sake of funding. A mere funding can allow you to take people to go to Russia, and then they're going to face this? Honestly? Like, really? No, we must give him the same energy we gave to those influencers. We must do that. Deployment to Ukraine. The group was sent to Donbas region in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine. They have been trapped amid active fighting. Families report no contact since, and the men are said to be unable to leave due to being stripped of documents and under Russian military control. So the Russian military control, so these comrades, they are now trapped. It's like they're in a box, and in that box, the Russian military control, it's roaming around them. They can't do anything. They can't move. They can't leave. Their documents have been stripped away from them. They don't have them. They can't leave. But Maganjan, it's unlike leaving Zimbabwe and come to South Africa. They can't do that. You understand? And the main fact that they are under the Russian military control, they can't even escape to the nearest country so that they can fly from the nearest country, or they can be deported from the nearest country. They can't, because they're under the Russian military control. Because if possible, they would have moved maybe to the South African embassy. The South African embassy, there they will be safe. It's a safe ground. And also, they can move maybe to the nearest country, and then they find the South African embassy in the nearest country, and then they report this thing, and then maybe the South African embassy can assist them to get their documents back, or to be flown to South Africa without their documents, and then they will just redo everything when they get back to South Africa. Then on the 19th of September 2025, Zuma personally signed a letter to Russian Defense Minister Andriy Balosov, requesting the men's removal from the combat zone to a safer location. The letter acknowledged the risk of media scandal and emphasized MKP's support for Russia, but urged discretion to avoid Western media exploitation. So Zuma sent a letter to the Russian Defense Minister and say, please remove this man from there. So when they were taken, eventually it means even Zuma was lied to. But the main fact that he deployed them there, he must be dealt with. Even those influencers, when we cancelled them as a country, not because they knew that whatever they were doing was going to yield to the results that they ended up getting. They didn't know. They really didn't know. They really didn't know. Most of them didn't know. But they were found in the situation. And Jacob Zuma must not be treated anyways different. He's the same citizen like them. And the same energy we gave to them, we must give it to Jacob Zuma. I know lovers of Jacob Zuma are going to attack me for this. But Jacob Zuma is the most heartless head of state we've ever had, if these allegations are proven to be true. Then November 2025, the story broke publicly via South African media, prompting outrage. Families have appealed to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa's office for intervention, following a recent presidential statement on stranded South African abroad. Zuma and his daughter Tutuzile attempted but failed to secure their release independently. And my thing that I'm getting here is that Jacob Zuma, it's now trying, because it was trying by all means, that it doesn't even get to Cyril Ramaphosa's office or for the Minister of International Relations involvement and all those kind of things. He was trying by all means that it doesn't get there. These people are released before it gets to that level. But unfortunately, it got there because even the families, they've reached out. And I guess since the statement came from the president, I guess now it's an international matter that needs to be dealt with by the Minister of International Relations. By the way, and all those people who were involved in these things, they're going to be dealt with, because when those comrades come back, they need to explain why they went to Russia, and they must tell them why they were even in the convents of Russia. And if it is alleged that, or if it is proven that they were kidnapped and they were not there by MKP under the false pretense, MKP might potentially be deregistered as a party, might be taken to constitutional court. And I don't see them surviving this. I don't see them surviving this. They might end up being deregistered as a political party, or Jacob Zuma might be arrested and even be forced to resign as a president of Umkhonto weSizwe party. So the recruitment happened like this. The recruitment or the key details of the allegations, they are like this. Recruitment. Contracts were advertised as opportunities for MKP official bodyguards, appealing to unemployed or aspiring party loyalists. Some reports suggest ties to MKP's broader pro-Russian stand. Given Zuma's historic link to Moscow, including military training in the Soviet Union during his ANC days. So MKP made a poster and say all the party loyalists, the loyalists of Jacob Zuma, they who are unemployed, they can come forward. There's an opportunity for them to be the party's official bodyguards. And obviously, we're struck with over 60% of youth unemployment in South Africa. Then obviously, this comrades saw an opportunity, and they wouldn't allow the opportunity to be eased in their hands just like that. They decided to join, and they wanted to go and do this training. Current status: the men fighting in high-risk area near Ukraine lines, with limited supplies and inadequate preparation. Relatives describe them as fighting for their lives without consent. So eventually these men, as we speak now, they're in the front line. They can be killed at any time. They can be killed at any time. That is why the families are describing this as them fighting for their lives. And it's sad because they were not prepared. They were just given military weapons and say, CMP in mind. They were not prepared enough. A soldier doesn't train for a year, guys. Even in South Africa, a soldier, soldiers train 3 years. 3 full years in training before you're a soldier that can be trusted with war. But them, they didn't even train them. They just took them straight to war. Imagine. Then MKP's response: the party has not publicly confirmed details, but has suppressed information to avoid scandal. Zuma's letter highlights concern over Western media actors turning into an international issue. Wow, they're only concerned about the Western media and what the media is going to say, or what we are saying, what I'm saying now, that's what they're concerned about. But they're not concerned about the lives of these people. This is the person that you guys voted for. 2.3 million people in South Africa said, we trust Jacob Zuma's MK party with our votes. 2.3 million people, they voted for this. This is what they voted for. 2.3 million people in South Africa, they voted for this. Then, broader context, this incident aligned with the reports of Russian recruitment of foreign fighters, e.g., via private military companies like the Wenger Group, now under state control. South Africa's neutral stance on the war complicates diplomatic rescue efforts. Yo, yeah, that's the thing. That's true. Then public and social media reaction. On X, formal known as Twitter, the story has sparked widespread condemnation, with users calling it a betrayal by MKP and Jacob Zuma. Posts highlight fears of exploitation and South Africa's high unemployment rates, which may have made the training offer appealing. Some speculate it was a ploy to build MK Party militias in KwaZulu-Natal, given the party's regional strongholds. A podcast episode on News 24 discussed the puzzling Russian deployment, questioning MKSP approach foreign ties. This is a problem. This is concerning. So you can't tell us that people are trying to decampaign Umkhonto party. Even if they try to decampaign it, it's worth it. If they issue those posters, it's worth it. No. People, this is an idiotic stunt. This is a stupidity stunt. If you think you would see this report, when people are outside of their homes, they can't even talk to their families, they're given weapons, they're fighting for their lives, they're not trained enough, they're in the front line, they can be bombed at any time. Then you come and tell us that it is all about politics? Really? Really? No ways. Please be realistic, MKP members. Then potential outcomes and calls for action. South African authorities are reportedly engaging Russia diplomatically. South African authorities are reportedly engaging Russia diplomatically, but progress is unclear. Families urge immediate evacuation, citing human rights violation. This scandal could damage MKP's reputation ahead of future election, especially amid ongoing scrutiny of alleged Russian funding links. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. For update, monitor official statement from the South African Department of International Relations and Cooperation, DERCO, or MK Party channel. If you are a family member or affected, contact DERCO or consult services, or consular services urgently. So if you're a family member or affected, contact DERCO or consular service urgently. By the way, this is what is happening now. MKP only thinks about its reputation, not the lives of these people. Members of MKP, they think about the existence of their movement, not the lives of these people. You guys are so cruel, as in, you guys are so cruel, like you're cruel. You are cruel. This is cruelty. While the people are in the forefront of the war, they're being given arms to fight something they didn't start, and you are only concerned about your own organization. You're so heartless, man. You're so heartless. By the way, I hope and believe that they return home safe, and we pray for them and we pray for their families that they get strength to deal with all these things, because wow. But we told you and we warned you about Jacob Zuma. He doesn't love South Africans. By the way, the ANC has granted Mkhunu what he asked for, which is to step aside from all his responsibilities or political responsibilities as the NWC member and as the NEC member. So those are the ongoing things that are happening in South Africa, and the government is criticizing the AfriForum and Solidarity for spreading disinformation that South Africa is the most race-regulated country, because they are busy posting billboard towards the N1 where the delegates for the G20 they must pass. So those are the ongoing thing, and Panyaza is busy removing, and they have threatened to deal with them. And Julius Malema said they must be dealt with immediately after the G20. And I said this before, and I'm still gonna say it again. AfriForum and Solidarity must be deregistered, or else this country will be in trouble. By the way, from me, Uletu, and my team in Latest Daily News, we couldn't cover any more other stories because of the time. It's already 20 minutes, so we'll see you in the next video. Shalom and bye-bye.